right, here with the infamous DJ Hat, watching his Spurs and Knicks tussle in the NBA Finals. How's that Chicho's Pizza you got right there?
Delicious. Always delicious.
How about Tony Brothers' officiating right now?
Right now, it's okay as long as the Spurs win.
Okay, you heard it, folks. There it is from DJ Hat, checking his messages.
No.
Hampton Roads has a long-running high school and college sports tradition. It's time to give them the spotlight they deserve. This is 757 Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
How about my New York Knicks, ladies and gents? Well, 2 games to love. What a job by my Knicks. We love to do 757 Sports Talk.
You ain't rooted for the Knicks in years, and they're your
What are you talking about? I've been there from birth. Patrick Ewing, Bernard King, those days in the 80s when the great Hubie Brown with the perm was coaching them. I mean, come on, I go back and then a slickster, Pat Riley, and have lived through the lean years of guys like Magic Lamp, and others that have been toying for the Knicks. Jeremy Lin, I lived through Linsanity, and now it's going to be absolutely insanity and pandemonium inside MSG, Madison Square Garden, where you're going to need at least 6 figures to get a ticket within sight of the court coming up on Monday night as they try to dispatch the Spurs in a short series. They'll take a sweep. They'll take 5. They'll take 6. Go, New York. Go, New York. Go. How about my Knicks? With the coach, Ed Young, I am Matthew Hatfield. No, DJ Hat is not going to appear on this episode anymore. He is very, very upset. There might be shattered glass. There might be some broken items in his house over there in Norfolk as he lives near Lake Taylor and Booker T. Washington high schools. We will talk a little high school later on in the program as it's spring sports time, playoff action. We got some soccer, baseball, softball, those good things. But, Edward, you were wrong. What's new? As you said, the Spurs in 6, and unless they win 4 straight, which I guess is possible, I think you want to change your prediction as you shake your head.
Not going to happen. Guarantee it. They're not winning 4 straight. I had the Spurs in 6. I had the Spurs by 5 in the first game. Wrong. I had the Spurs by 6 in the second game. Wrong.
Loser. You're a loser.
So I'm going to pick the Spurs to win game 3 by 3.
You might be wrong again because you have to remember who's going to be in the building on Monday night. The crowd's going to go nuts. Might not be for me, but the crowd's going to go nuts.
Your illustrious president, Mr. Trump, that will be in the building. You always say your Knicks, okay? How about your president?
Oh, don't throw that in my face. Don't throw that in my face. Hi, Caden, and others out there watching. Look, don't throw that in my face. But my Knicks, what a job by my Knicks as they beat the Spurs 105-104. They get the virtuoso performance again from Karl Anthony Towns. He gives them 21 points, 13 boards. They get 26 and 6 points, boards, and dimes from Mikal Bridges, one of the Villanova cats. They got a couple more in Jalen Brunson, the big shot maker, and Josh Hart, who battled through the foul trouble, was such a rebound menace in game number 1. And oh, by the way, Edward, they have erased 12-point and 14-point deficits in the first 2 games of the series. They've erased 4 double-figure deficits in these playoffs, the infamous one being game 1 at the Garden when they were dead and buried against the Cleveland Cavaliers. And here they are halfway home to a title. What a job. What execution. It looked like it was slipping away. And then the fabulous Frenchman known as Victor Wembanyama, Wemby. What happened to him down the stretch? He said things got blurry. I can relate because sometimes with you definitely make my eyes go blurry when I have to listen to some of your nonsense. So I can relate, and I do feel for the young 22-year-old phenom who is going to be the face of the league for many, many years to come.
He's not there yet, as we've all seen, and we wanted to hurry up and anoint him as the next greatest thing before LeBron even puts up his shoes.
Hold on. LeBron is great, but LeBron is no longer the best player in the sport, nor is Steph Curry.
Of this generation, he is.
That's fine. I'm not going to dispute that. But the face of the league, hold on, has generally been, as far as best player in the sport, probably since LeBron and Kevin Durant and Steph Curry were at their apex. I think we would all agree that they're not at their apex anymore, all 3 of those guys. They were part of the Olympic gold medal win for Team USA the last time in the Summer Olympics. It's probably been international guys like Giannis Antetokounmpo from the Bucks, a.k.a. the Greek Freak, because as we did our spelling bee preview last week, Ed's not the best speller. Nikola Jokic, the Joker from the Nuggets, and Wemby, another name that's hard to spell, Wembanyama, all from different places, Greece and look, it's okay. Spurs fans, like my pops, your time will come again. You've had your time. But I will say this, and I was a little critical of Mike Brown, just a little teeny weeny bit back in the Hawks series when they were trailing 2-1. I think he and his staff have gotten the better of Mitch Johnson. I know they don't have Greg Popovich. He is the old sage, wise, wisdom guy they can turn to, much like Eric Spoelstra, young in his career, turned to Pat Riley with the Armani suit and slick back hair when he was trying to get some tips and tricks to help Miami navigate its way to a championship. And he eventually did that, and he's one of the best coaches in the sport now. But, Ed, I would tell you that right now Mitch Johnson has not schemed up a lot of good things. You got to get a guy that big. People are talking about get him in the paint. Not only get him in the paint offensively, but have him in the paint defensively, because he's running all over the place trying to chase these Knicks shooters, and they've been blitzing Brunson. Brunson hasn't shot a great in the first 2 games. He came up clutch in the fourth quarter of game 1. But they're just all over the place. Why are you doubling Brunson, leaving Landry Shamet, who's been money from 3, and leaving Mikal Bridges, and leaving Miles McBride, and leaving these shooters to dominate? And there's been no answer for Cat. I just think, I know that it's been a 1-point game and it's been close, but it feels like it's a bigger than a 2-0 lead for the Knicks, especially going back home in front of what's going to be a raucous, wild atmosphere on Monday night.
Yeah, I just think when people look at San Antonio defeating Oklahoma City, who was supposed to be going on a run of championships, and they didn't, another young team, now it's all confusion. At the beginning of the playoffs, I didn't see them. I saw the Knicks beating Atlanta, and that was it. To see
but you got into the Celtics in the second round, correct? Not the Sixers.
Right. But to see them, the records they are setting, you can't just overlook it and say, well, they didn't play anybody. Can't say that.
Correct.
And I mean, it's dominating stats. It's
13. It's 13 straight wins now, isn't it? It's 13.
13 straight wins.
Yeah, 13 straight wins. Goodness.
They're outscoring people by like 280 points. It's what they have done. When you step back and look at it on paper, it's like you're thinking, is this the Lakers team with Magic, or the Belt Celtics with Bird, or whoever, San Antonio with Robinson? It's the Knicks. And you're going to say it's the Knicks with Jalen Brunson and they got some other guys. So it's not any Brunson, though I think now is not a top 10 NBA super, but that kid can play. He's just money. And then everybody else does what us coaches always say. If you just play your role day in and day out, don't care who gets the credit, and go at it hard. Be amazed at what happens. And the Knicks are showing that. And I've completely changed, obviously. Knicks will win the title, just no matter how many games, because Spurs are not winning 4 in a row. And I don't think the Knicks are going to go into total collapse. I don't think they'll sweep the Spurs. But, I mean, even if they lose, if they win the Knicks, that's 3-0, go back to San Antonio. No, they play 2 in New York, right?
What's that?
There's 2 games in New York. So Spurs win one of those, which I think they will. They go back to San Antonio. Well, they get the one in San Antonio. Now it's 3-2. Go back to the Garden. And I think that's game, 6. That's where I think the Knicks will take it. But it's just watching what the Knicks are doing is amazing. Down, like you say, down 4 throughout the entire playoffs. Double-digit deficits. And they're coming back against really, really good teams and win the damn game. It's amazing what they're doing. And if they win this title, which I think they will, well, you're going to have to start talking about them alongside some of those super NBA championship teams.
Clyde Frazier said that Brunson has Willis Reed's tenacity and his cool. It's pretty high praise right there for Clyde Frazier, one of the all-time Knicks greats. And listen, if Brunson wins this title, I know there's been a lot of debate, is he the greatest Knick of all time? I still put ahead of him Reed, Frazier, and Patrick Ewing, who didn't win a championship. But I tell you what, he will be remembered and the legend, and he'll never have to buy a dinner again in New York. And he's still very young in his career, and there will be talks of back-to-back. I don't think they go back-to-back, like the Spurs can or could have. And still, it's still possible. Or OKC, the talk was, or even the Celtics and Nuggets talk, which they failed in that, and it's so hard to win back-to-back. But I will say this, though. I don't think the Spurs get swept. I think the Spurs get one in the Garden. I don't think they get two in the Garden. They get one. And I think it's going to be Game 3. And the reason I say that is I go back to just last season when they beat the Celtics with stunning comebacks from down double figures, I think 20-plus in both Games 1 and Game 2 on the road. And then Game 3, they got tattooed at home in front of a raucous atmosphere, and that'd be way crazier come Monday night. Celtics had a little pride, like the Spurs have. Now, Spurs are younger, haven't been in that spot before. But I think it's going to be difficult for the Knicks to compress everything, given where it is in the situation, just how wild it's going to be. So I do think that will be a challenge in itself for them. Coming up on Monday night. But Game 4, asking the Spurs to do it and do it again, and the Spurs will play a lot better. But here's the scary part, Ed, and this is why the Knicks could blow them out in one of those two games at the Garden. The Knicks have not played great or at their best, what we've seen at their best in the playoffs, in either of the first two games on the road. So they're capable of much more. Certainly Brunson's shooting it better. And I tell you what, I thought the Spurs were a little bit in trouble. I thought they were going to be all right, up 14. They blow that lead. Then they get down and make a great heroic comeback where Wemby finally comes to life in the second half. But the first sign of concern to me was, when, as a coach, Mitch Johnson decided to go to the hack of Mitchell Robinson, late in the first quarter with the lead. I thought it was a smidge of a knee-jerk panic reaction. Nick Nurse did that for the Sixers in round 2. But I didn't think it was necessary. I know what he's trying to do is break up the Knicks' rhythm, put him at the line. He's under 40% from the foul line, those type of things. But I just didn't think it was necessary. And it kind of psychologically might tell your guys, we have to do this, and set a bad mindset and mood when you do something like that. So I just don't know if that's the way to go if you're him. But, again, I think some of his strategy has been a little faulty in this series. They obviously have a wonderful future in front of them. I just didn't like some of the little things he's done and did through two games. And I do wonder, at the end of that game, obviously Wemby makes the mistaken error. In the back of my mind, if Popovich is coaching this team, I think it's even up at 1 going to the Garden. You're looking at a 6 or 7 game series, almost guaranteed. But he's not coaching the team, and it is Mitch Johnson's first rodeo, if you will. And Mike Brown, as much as I've criticized him, he's utilized the bench way better than Tom Thibodeau, number 1. And number 2, he's been on championship staffs before, and part of this run before as the head coach of the Cavs, fell short. Golden State's bench with Steve Kerr, San Antonio's bench with Popovich. So he has been through this before. This isn't his first rodeo.
Yeah, Mike Brown's taking a lot of hits. Now Mitch Johnson's taking the hits. Heard one of these talking heads on the radio the other day said, if the Spurs get swept or only win one game, Mitch Johnson needs to be relieved of the coaching duties. I almost wrecked the car when I heard that. Some of the most idiotic statements some of the young talking heads come up with. The man just got hired. He ain't going nowhere. He's done a good job with a young team. And, yeah, you can sit back, as many people do, and second-guess all coaches at any level, which people do, and say, well, he should have done this, should have done that. That's true. He will be the coach for the Spurs for a while. Period. When they go get swept 4-0, it'll be there. Mike Brown, okay, people, I haven't heard a whole lot of people, talking heads, say, well, Mike Brown's done a great job. One of the things Mike Brown has done in the playoffs is get out of the way.
Yes.
Sometimes in coaching, as a coach, we need to just step back. If things are going okay, they're going well. I should say okay, they're going well. Get out of the way. You don't have to get in there and take credit for it. Let the players play. Now, he has, like you said, I agree with you. He has done a great job in the idea of substitution. Thibodeau, former coach, didn't believe in subs. He didn't need any players on the bench. He just didn't play them. And you know me as a coach, I've always tried to use the bench because why do you keep players if you're not going to use them? And come playoff time, state championship time, you're going to need bench people. So play them early so they'll be ready later. But he has done a great job. And the Knicks are not loaded with superstars. So give Mike Brown more credit for keeping that group together. Because like I said, the numbers they're showing is unbelievable. And I know I was talking about with my neighbor about this the other day. He said, yeah, but the NBA, it ain't like it was with Magic and Bird. I said, no, it's still good basketball. There's still super studs in the NBA. I said, the Knicks, when they got it with the Spurs and that, every round except the first round, I kept picking the Knicks to lose. So now it flipped. I'm going to go to the Knicks are going to win this. It's just a matter of how many games.
Oh, the Knicks fans might hate you. Us Knicks fans might hate you with all of our fibers in our body.
You have no idea why they were named the Knicks to begin with, let alone
I do. The New York Knickerbockers. I'm well aware.
You like the Knicks because they won you some shekels the last couple nights. That's why you got the doggone.
It has nothing to do with shekels. It has to do with my long-suffering fandom. Go New York, go New York, go. We've been suffering for decades, Edward. We've been suffering.
Every time you've gone through New York City, you're under the dashboard hiding because we're going to get shot. Let me get down.
That's not true. Why would you say
don't know the New York people.
I do.
You know this, and you know about me. I am a quiet Knick fan. You saw my Knick
stop
shirt.
It, please. You got Celtics.
My Knick shirt, my Knick jacket. I got all that stuff.
Look at that nonsense.
But everybody knows I'm a Celtic.
Yeah, tomfoolery. You got Plato up there with an etch-a-sketch.
And I was there when they won the title in 73. Yeah. I think I was in 7th grade.
Yeah.
But I watched it. And I do agree. You did say earlier, Reed is the best Knick of all time.
Frazier.
2.
Yeah.
I don't know. Ewing is 3.
Yeah.
Brunson
probably is 4 now. Brunson's probably 4.
But in a series, you got a good point on there.
Yeah.
I like Earl and Pearl.
But nobody should be care about this rankings thing and worry about and I see these graphics now for different things about this is the best whatever for all that stuff is unnecessary. Just cut it out. We're gonna come back, take a break. We're gonna talk about the NHL Stanley Cup Finals, even at 1 apiece. Oh, what a great game number 2 it was! As my Carolina Hurricanes. Oh, I'm sorry, the Carolina Hurricanes square things up with the Vegas Golden Knights. I can't say they're my Carolina Hurricanes. That would be a little bit disingenuous, but they're definitely my New York Knicks. Stick around. We got more coming, and you're watching where, Ed?
We're on Cobra Sports TV, where you got to like it, you got to share it, and please subscribe it.
Here with the Oscar Smith backcourt tandem on the left, we got Kelly King Jr. tonight, 24 points, 6 of 8 from the floor, 9 of 10 from the foul line, 4 assists, 3 boards, and Corn Buckingham, the PG on the right, 16 points, 5 boards, 5 dimes as they beat Kellum here, 66-51 to win the Spring League here, brought to you by BSN. Let me start with you, Corn, since you got the mic in your hand. You start out the game with a 3, but 8 minutes ago you had a filthy step back 3. Which was the better 3 for you, to start the game off or the one that kind of put them at rest?
Put them at rest. I feel like that was the better one. We had the momentum and everything, so yeah.
Been watching for a couple years with Oscar Smith. You were part of the regional championship team a couple years ago when you came in from Tallwood.
Yeah.
What's different about your game now? You watch some older guards like Jacoby Harper, and now you're kind of the lead guy for this team.
Yeah. I feel like I've been around players that's making me better. Older players, I've always been the youngest one on the team, so just being around them helped me be able to get better and know what I need to do and just play at pace. I got to learn how to do that.
And a talented backcourt trio you got with you and Kelly and Rashawn Newsom. Head to Kelly. We're going to talk to him for a second here. Kelly, you came in last year from Great Bridge. You were second team all region there. You had some 30-point games. Tell me about how you fit in, because you can score at will against people when you get that green light, don't you? Can't you?
Yes, sir. I fit in great right here at Oscar Smith. You know, they brought me in, they welcomed me, and they let me do my thing. So it's been a great fit over here at Oscar Smith.
It's easy for me to ask you guys what's the best part of your own games, but I want you to talk about each other. What's the best part of Corn's game? Don't get him to talk about your game. What do you like about him? What makes him so comfortable? What makes you so comfortable playing with him on the court?
His ability to trust us. You know, I told him early in the game, find me, and he found me, and I hit a 3. You know, that connection that we have, you know, we trust each other on the court, you know. I trust him to bring the ball up. He trusts me to bring the ball up. So it's just that connection that we have.
Sure. Corn, what about Kelly? What makes him one of the better bucket getters in the 7-5-7?
I really got, just like he said, really trust. I know that's my first option who I'm looking at. Just like my duo. So I'm going to make sure he good. Even Rashawn, we're going to make sure he going to get the ball and everybody just going to play as a team. I feel like, man, we the best backcourt. So I feel like that's just what it is.
This particular championship matchup, I know it's in Kellum's gym and you beat them by 36 the first time back in May, but they hit 10 threes tonight. This wasn't an easy team to play, but you guys made it look easy. How were you able to pull away late? What was the key?
Playing as a team, making sure we stopping their best player, because they got some good guys over there as well, D1 guard as well. So we just had to come out here, play hard, and be physical, and just play smart and be disciplined.
couple more for you guys. Kelly, winning a championship in the spring. I know the goal is in the wintertime to win a state championship. But what can this do to help you guys on that path?
Give us motivation. We got young guys coming up from JV, so this will help them build their confidence level. So going into spring league or live period during June, we can get us going into the winter so we can win the state championship.
Awesome. All right, last one. It's a fun one here. NBA final starting. Who you got? Spurs or Knicks? Both of you guys.
Spurs.
Both are going with the Spurs. Wow.
Hey, the Knicks not bad, though.
Yeah. All right. I hope no Knicks fans watch this, but that's Kelly King and Corin Buckingham. They're two playmakers for the Oshawa Tigers. Thanks so much, guys. Appreciate it.
This is 757 Saturday Sports Talk. Here are Matt Hatfield and Coach Ed Young.
Thanks to Kelly King and Corin Buckingham. Congrats on them winning that championship. They might want to change that pick, though, on Spurs over Knicks, because right now it's 2-1. And oh, by the way, how much money would you make if you rolled over $100 on the Knicks every game for 13 consecutive, Edward? You'd be saying I'm a Knicks fan like Matt Hatfield, right?
I'd be saying I'm a Knicks fan like Matt Hatfield.
That's right. How about that? Look at that amount. $181,733.64.
I wonder what at the beginning of the year back in September the bet was, or the odds were for the Knicks to win it all if you put down.
It wasn't as high as it was for the Spurs. The Spurs would be, and they still would be, the longest shot to win the championship. But in the playoffs, though, it did to, I think, the 44-1. I think the Spurs were like at 70-something to 1 at one point. So there you have it. Very, very, very fascinating. Ethan Lawson, he was down to 2. The Mountaineers of West Virginia and the Hokies of Virginia Tech. And last week, Ed said it would be West Virginia. Here's his video.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia. Go Mountaineers, baby!
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
I'm sorry. That was so good. I got to see it again. Look at this. Watch.
What's up, everybody? I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia. Go Mountaineers, baby!
Almost heaven, West Virginia.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, when I first saw this video, I love when the kiddies do some things that are, kind of neat, different, and, using social media. I get all that. I was stunned after I watched it. What was the idea of the fire? I thought he was going to run in the fire.
I'm here to announce I'm committing to West Virginia.
Couch is on
Go
fire.
Mountaineers, baby!
What's the significance of the fire?
West Virginia.
I mean, don't you get it? You don't get it? Are you lost? You are, aren't you? I have to find you back home.
The more these kids try to do something different, the more I'm like, yeah, it's time for me to head over the hills because I don't know what these kids are doing. It would have been neat. Okay, he was considered West Virginia, Virginia Tech, correct?
Correct, yes.
Okay, have the Virginia Tech shirt on because then the Virginia people were like, yes, I'm glad then he rips his shirt off and he throws it in the fire. I'm going to West Virginia. Okay, I can kind of see what he did there, though he just made all the Virginia Tech and Virginia people mad.
But West Virginia is known for a tradition of burning couches to celebrate major wins.
That's I have never tradition. In my entire life.
What do you mean you haven't? You've
ever heard of that? Ever heard of that? Ever? And that was a couch burning.
Yes, that's what a couch was doing. It was burning. And by the way, this video went viral to where it's gotten not hundreds, we're talking thousands, approaching 1 million views. This thing has gone viral nationally. We're not talking about in Little Rye Cove out in Clinchport, Virginia, Southwest, little pocket of folks, or across just Southwest VA or Virginia. This has gone nationwide. It's become one of the more shared videos of a college athlete's commitment ever. And he's a good football player, but not a 5-star, not a top 50 recruit. And I think it was definitely outside the box. He thought outside the box for this one. Give him that. Give him credit for that.
Now that I understand this tradition of burning couches is a West Virginia thing.
Yes.
It does make more sense. But then again, this is why I got to have to get on the phone with my buddy.
Country Roads playing in the background, right? You caught that, right?
Yeah, I caught that, which is good.
Okay.
My buddy from West Virginia, Reno Leon, the unclaimed governor of West Virginia. I'll have to call him later.
He's the unclaimed governor?
He's the unclaimed governor
of West Virginia. Can he come on the show and can we present him as America's unclaimed governor?
He would be good to come on the show and ask him about this. I bet he doesn't know it. He probably does.
Oh, you got to send him this. He will instantly be Reno's favorite football player. I thought he'd be yours, but he will instantly be his favorite. Matter of fact, I'm gonna stir up trouble. You ready for this? And actually, it's not trouble. I'm gonna start something. You know, these kids can have agents and NIL. I think Reno would be the perfect agent for this kid. Think about it. They could hit the big time. What if he makes the NFL and Reno's like his? This could be a phenomenon. We could start something here. And we'll get small. We'll get a small. By the way, we'll get like 0.2% of what the kid makes and what Reno makes as the agent. But this could be something big. He'd be the perfect guy, the perfect pitch man for Big Ethan Lawson, who again is one heck of a football player, and I'm glad he's getting some national attention and limelight for being very innovative and creative. You tell all your kids in class, you as a teacher, me from time to time as a substitute, to be creative and innovative and think, explore. I thought he was very innovative here.
Now, okay, so the University of West Virginia is known to burn couches.
West Virginia University. Get it right. Go ahead.
West Virginia University is
WVU.
They're known to burn couches for wins or something.
Yes. Look it up. I'm just telling you.
I'm sending this to my buddy right now. He'll probably answer quick. I think he's online.
Okay.
Burning couches. I've never heard of this. It's just another thing that they do in the state of West Virginia that makes me say, huh? Because West Virginia does some very...
You know who else has got what is a big West Virginia is our buddy Mark Fout. We do the broadcast with him every year, NFHS. He'll come on in. He's mountaineer. He'll tell you about it, Ed. I mean, listen, I don't know why you're in so shock over this.
Never. I've been living for all these years, never heard of this tradition of burning couches.
Oh, my goodness.
Now, I've been to some colleges where the fraternities have put the couch on a roof and set the couch on fire, but that's a whole different story there. I don't know what the fraternities are doing. But that's unbelievable. But, you know, congrats to the youngster.
It's been called, by the way, in fact, you just do a trending search. It has been called the greatest and most iconic commitment video ever. Now, I don't know what other competition it has, but, again, this has been all over national websites everywhere, from Yahoo Sports to MSN to you name it. This has become a big deal for Ethan Lawson, who we talked about last week and was not a household name, but just this one little video and him being a pretty darn good football player who's obviously gotten the work done academically and athletically to be in this position to commit to West Virginia over Virginia Tech. And again, Rye Cove, it's a small Class 1 school. You better be special. You're coming out of there to go to Power 4. I think it's pretty neat for him that he thought outside the box.
Glad for him. I hope he makes it work. I hope he sticks it out. He's going to be much better when he comes out than when he is going in. There's no question about that. They'll man him up in terms of being a pretty good lineman. And I'm glad that he picked a West Virginia type who right now the stream of things is not, SEC, Big Ten, which seems that anybody and everybody only talks about those schools now. I hated to see him go outside the state, but I thought West Virginia would be a better fit for him.
Yeah. USA Today picked it up. I mean, everybody picked it up. By the way, one little piece of advice to Ethan: you darn better stick to your commitment. Don't decommit and go to Pitt or something now, because then you'll be hated for life. Stick to that commitment.
Somebody will burn a couch. They'll be burning his couch.
Yes, I'm saying you better make sure that oral pledge ends up with you signing on the dotted line here. $75 million for Virginia Tech, Edward, most of which is going to go to athletics. James Franklin is probably a happy camper because this lets him keep up in what is now known as the arms race of intercollegiate athletics and college football recruiting. $75 million made anonymously by a 4-generation Virginia Tech family, including the fundraising portion of the recently approved $229 million investment in athletics over the next 4 years. Wow, 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 wow. What do you have to say about this as James Franklin and the Hokies now get to use some of these funds to enhance the football program and the portfolio? And I would expect some 5 stars in Vodtek's future. They haven't really had the 5 stars. They've had a lot of 4 stars and 3 stars, but they're going to see all kinds of stars with this kind of money, right?
Yes. I would imagine a majority of that money will go to football, and then a good slice will go to basketball, and then the other sports will divvy up the rest. That's kind of how it goes now, because no matter what you want to say, if your football and basketball is not out there in the bright lights, the rest of the sports are going to suffer.
Yeah.
And you're not going to see $50 million go to tennis in West Virginia. That's not happening. They're going to get some, but the majority is going to go. I'm wondering who has that kind of money to give up $75 million as a donation and doesn't even want their name out there, which is admirable. But man, where is my Smithfield graduates, generationals, who can give us maybe $75,000 to Smithfield Athletics? Is somebody out there? That's what I'm looking for. And then give me about $70,000 of that for boys basketball, so I can bring in some athletes through the portal. Oh, we don't do that in high school. In the future, that's coming.
Okay. Will you be around for that future is the question.
Yeah.
You said you doubt it?
Somebody donate $75,000 to Smithfield. I believe it when I see it. I'll probably be pushing up daisies by then.
Hokie Ventures, the nonprofit corporation, approved earlier this week a way for Virginia Tech to support revenue generation and strategic investment. So, look, when Virginia Tech was set to hire a new football coach, which they got, and they, I don't even say embattled, but the guy that got canned at Penn State, didn't win the big games consistently enough for those folks' liking, is now sitting in a position where Virginia Tech expects to be competing for the ACC title sooner than later and to be in the national spotlight, which they've been a couple of times before, most notably when Frank Beamer had Michael Vick as his star attraction at the quarterback position, and they lost that infamous championship game to Peter Warwick-led Florida State. But that was at the turn of the century. It's been a long time. We'll see how they do. And again, in the ACC, it's not as arduous a road as, say, going through the SEC and Big Ten, but pretty much the only two that kind of stand in your way. I don't even know that Clemson stands in your way anymore, but Miami's the one that stands in your way, right? That's the big one.
Say so. Of course, Virginia wants to have a say in that.
Sure. But they didn't get a $75 million donation. They got a lot of money, but they didn't get a $75 million donation.
Right. Traditionally, in the past, Florida State would be a thing you got to worry about. Clemson recently has taken a slight step backwards.
Is he going to be around, by the way, Mike Norvell? That's a good question.
Yeah, that becomes a yearly question for them. Even Sweeney at Clemson now, people are saying maybe it's his time to go seek employment elsewhere. And, he's been a little reluctant to go into the portal, which an old geezer like me, you got to change. You got to change at the time. You got to embrace the portal in college athletics now, or you will be doomed. You're going to have to get in there. And in fact, most schools, football and basketball, especially the men in basketball, that's where they recruit, portal. They don't recruit the high school athlete. So
true.
And they've come out and said it. Rick Pitino's one. He's come out and said it. We don't really go after the portal unless we know. After high school, unless we know we have a shot at a 5-star kid. He just comes right out and says it. Like no bone about it. So, and many people are. It's funny. I was looking through the top 20 teams for men's basketball next year, the way too early top 20. And they would list who the teams lost, who's coming back, and then the portal, who they've signed already from the portal. Mm-hmm. And I remember, I'll use Louisville. They lose every returning player but one. They have like 11 guys coming out of the portal. One returning, and they're picked like 9th in the country next year. Now, when you have one returning, everybody says, well, you're growing, give you a couple years. They're already picked ninth. Because of
win. And by the way, had they gotten Silovich, who Iowa State shooter who went to Kentucky, that ranking of 9 would have been top 3 easily.
Yes, way up. Texas is another one. Texas is another
you're talking about college basketball. College football is right on the corner. I got my Athlon preseason book.
I know. You know what I'm waiting for college football.
And we're going to get Phil on, I'm sure. He's still – his magazine comes out a little later because he's waiting for all the portal dust to be settled and finish all the transactions pages. But I got the Athlon the other day, and I want to ask you, where do you think Virginia Tech in the 17-member ACC is predicted to finish by Athlon? The 17-member ACC. I can tell you Stanford is last, Miami is 1. Where do you think they have the Hokies finishing?
13.
You said 13?
Mm-hmm.
No, that's Duke at 13. They have UVA at 6. They have Virginia Tech at 5 and 30th nationally. And I love the scouting the team section, scouting the Hokies, where they quote an anonymous opposing ACC assistant coach, where he says, quote, "The blueprint that James Franklin has had in his career from Vandy to Penn State translates very well to that league. Virginia Tech should be one of the top 3 programs in the ACC when done right. I'm excited to see what they do because I've got a ton of belief in the recruits they brought in and the infrastructure that's in place for them to be successful. The level of respect that I have for the humbleness and lack of ego that former head coach Brent Pry has to stay on as defensive coordinator is off the charts. I don't think enough can be said about how special and how difficult that kind of move is. Being able to take the head coach duties off his plate again might provide better defensive production." Well, their schedule, if you'd like to hear it, we can see if you have them, how many wins you have them going after a 3-9.
Read me the schedule. And I'm going to tell you
win loss. 3-9, 2-6 in the ACC last year. They open at home against VMI. Gets the OJ first. He says that's a win. All right. They then host. Be careful in this one because they lost at home to these guys last year, 45-26. And you know who I'm talking about? The Monarchs of Old Dominion University. Come to Blacksburg. It's Franklin against his former pupil, Ricky Ronnie. Number 12. Be there or be square.
I'm going Tech in a close.
Ooh. All right, ODU fans. All right, James Williams. That was Ed Young, not Matt Hatfield, who said that the Monarchs can't win that game. I made that mistake the first time when ODU pulled the upset with Bobby Water, and they beat them 2 more times since Ricky Ronnie. I ain't going to make that mistake again.
Tech in a close one. I didn't say it would mean you can't win. You definitely can win.
I'm just saying. All right, so we got 2-0.
You got him? You got Old Dominion beating Tech? You going to say it out loud?
I'm going to wait. It's good OJ. I'm going to wait.
I'm going to wait.
I broadcast games for ODU. I can't make a prediction on that game.
I got you. I don't want to put you in a bad situation.
I can't do it. I broadcast games for ODU. September 19th at Maryland.
Win.
Oh, AJ Risser's listening to you. Don't knock his Terps. His turtles. He says turtle soup. All right. 3-0. How about this? How about at Boston College again, who's picked second to last in the ACC by Athlon? 4-0. So you have them turning the calendar from September to October, undefeated, and they host the Pitt Panthers, who again are picked 7th. It's going to be in Blacksburg. You got 5-0 for Franklin and the boys? You do.
It's at Tech. I'm going to give them the advantage only because it's at Tech. Won't be surprised if Pitt wins.
October 10th at a team that is picked 10th in the ACC, again below Virginia Tech. They go to the West Coast. They're going to the West Coast to try to make this team toast, the Cal Golden Bears.
That should be a win.
So you got them at 6-0.
6-0.
October 17th. Hold on. October 17th, they play the 8th place predicted team, the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets in Blacksburg. Go ahead, say it. It's a W. It's a W. Look at the schedule, Ed. It's a W.
I'm trying to give them a loss somewhere.
By the way, it's a relatively soft schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a lucky schedule for them.
Lucky?
Some of the tougher
Sometimes
teams,
it's better to be lucky than good. Ask the New York Knicks. Go ahead.
but I'm saying, like Tech last year had a good year, and if this game was down in Georgia,
talking about Virginia Tech or Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
Georgia
Georgia
Tech
Tech
had a
go
good
to
year
a bowl?
last year. They were 9-4, 6-2 in the ACC. Yes, they did have a good year. I think you're talking about Virginia Tech for a second. But go ahead. Yes. Okay. So right now, hold on. You got them at 7-0 out of the chute. Franklin will be in the National Coach of the Year conversation. And guess what's going to happen? He's going to get another $75 million donated if that happens.
No, he's gonna go undefeated, go to the bowl, and get blasted.
Now, this might be where 7-0 comes to an end. To close out October, a week before Halloween on the 24th, they head down to Clemson.
Clemson in a close one.
Oh, you think it's going to be a game?
Yes.
Then they close out their schedule in November with 4 games. At SMU, host Stanford, at Miami, host the in-state rival UVA, which ended up beating the Hokies last year 27-7, I might add. But what do you think of that? 2 at home, 2 on the road, beginning with at SMU. They host Stanford, who's picked in the basement of the ACC. Go to Miami, host Virginia. It feels like a split, a 2-2 lickety split, right?
I go 1-3.
Oh, really? So you got them fading fast down the stretch.
They beat Stanford, but they lose at SMU. They lose to Hokies.
And you got them losing at home to Virginia.
Yeah, losing to Virginia.
Wow. It's music to the ears of all the Wahoo fans out there. So, do the math. 4, 5, 6, 7-1, 7-2, 8-2, 8-3, 8-4 for the Hokies from 3-9. It's a good year. It's a good year. Even if you
he'll be up for Coach of the Year or definitely one of the most improved. Yeah.
I'll say this though, if he can somehow stretch that to 10-2. 10-2. It's not out of the realm of possibility that they're playing in the ACC championship game, and it's not out of the realm of possibility they're in the college football playoff. It's not out of the realm of possibility.
Now,
but they don't have a great matchup on the out of conference that will help strengthen their resume for this particular year. Go ahead.
Now, with that being said, let's flip it. Could they? Because I said there was a couple that I thought they would, edge out the win. Could it go the other way? Realistically,
it would take injuries, a blown lead, an upset. Yes, to answer your question, but I'd say it's doubtful. I think it's more probable it goes closer to the 9-10 win mark than it goes backwards to the 6-5-4 win mark. I think the schedule out of the gate, it's that Old Dominion game is actually a big deal for Virginia Tech, which it didn't used to be. It used to be like, oh, it doesn't matter. But that's a game that it's been a stumbling block for them. Last year, they got off to an 0-3 start, losing to South Carolina, Vandy, and ODU before they won back-to-back games over Wofford and NC State. But it's right before the Maryland trip. You got to get to 2-0 before you can think about a perfect month of September. So that game is actually, believe it or not, it's a pivotal spot for the Hokies. When in years past, we all snickered about it. It's actually an important spot, important game to get off to that good start.
My buddy here from West Virginia, Reno, just finally texts back.
Uh-oh.
He doesn't know as much about the couch story as his daughter. His daughter, of course, teaches at in Winchester, Virginia. We'd have to ask Mia, it's his daughter. He says Franklin will do better than expected. He just couldn't win at Penn State. He thinks they're going, what you just said, 10-2.
There you go. I trust Reno over there. I trust him a lot more than
he said, please get me on the show. I want to expose the real Ed Young. You and him together against me would be humorous.
Be an instant guest. Instant guest.
My one final thing is we let James fly out of here. World Cup.
Yeah.
James, who's winning? I know you know everything. I know you know all the pros. Come on now.
I have mapped it out. I've finally done my dues. I have Brazil winning the World Cup this year.
Do you really? Wow.
I do.
James, now be careful what you say because the guy next to me over here, he's writing it down now. He's been known to throw a few shekels down.
No, I'm not putting shekels. I'm just checking to see the latest because I'm.
And if he does, and they don't win, he'll come looking for you. He will come. I'm going to bet 25 cents on Brazil, and I won't worry about it. He will knock on your door.
No.
Oh, I know.
Plus
I have
850. Good value, James. It's not bad. Plus 850, but Spain is 1, France is 2, England is 3. I thought you were going to say Spain though, but I actually think it's a sneaky pick. Brazil 4th. I'm not hating it at all.
I actually, because again, I literally have gone through every game. I've figured out what I think the score is going to be for every game, mapped it out. I have Brazil winning and beating Japan in the final. And then I have England and Portugal in the third place match.
Okay, good deal. We will save this, and if you're dead on, we'll play it back and make you look like a genius because you probably are when it comes to this stuff. Well, James, always a pleasure, and I look forward to talking again soon. But get you on probably during the World Cup, perhaps.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely, gentlemen. Love to come on for that.
Appreciate it, buddy. See you now.
Thanks, James.
All right, take care.
James Clark of 757 Soccer Chat, our maestro, our inside info guy when it comes to all that right here on Cova Sports TV. Ed Young, ladies and gents, is ready for the World Cup, which, as you see on the screen there, it's part of a busy sports calendar in June. Starts on the 11th. You got the U.S. Open Golf, NBA Draft, NHL Draft, Wimbledon right around the corner. Were you into the French Open, Ed, with Zverev winning on the men's side, or did you watch some of the golf over the weekend? You had some exciting tournaments. It was a 5-way tie on 16. My man JT Poston ended up pulling out. Nelly Corda won the U.S. Women's Open on the 18th hole at Riviera. Oh, some wonderful action over the weekend, but looks like you're just thinking about your favorite coming back to the court in one Mrs. Williams, right?
Yeah, I was just wondering, we got some tennis stuff up there, so I think my girl Serena will be back. I got to see what the latest fashion is. That kind of rocks my mind as number one right now.
I figured, knowing you. How about the hockey, though, on Saturday night? Double OT. I know you loved it. As Carolina was able to erase the 4-goal deficit, it's the third straight game a multi-goal lead evaporated, but Mitch Marner and the Vegas Golden Knights lead it 2-1 as they get ready for a game number 4 in your favorite city, or one of your favorite cities in the world, Vegas, coming up on Tuesday night after the big game through with the NBA Finals at MSG, Knicks and Spurs.
I'll tell you right now, I know I've said it before, I'm not deep into hockey. I respect it, gone to the Admiral games. I got to go to any NHL game, no doubt about it. And these 3 games here, I loved it. I saw a little bit of each, trying to watch a little bit more and more. It is unbelievable action. They're going at it 100%. It's rough. It's finesse. It's strategy. It's, if you're not a hockey fan, you've got to watch this. And if it doesn't grab you, then hockey's not at all. I got to make it a point. I got to watch game 4. I got to watch more of game 4.
And they've made even the 2 goalkeepers, including Freddie Anderson, who's been lights out much of the postseason, they've made them vulnerable in this series. That shows you how good these teams are. And Carolina, remember I told you during Saturday morning's show, after they won game 2, they were like 7-0 in overtimes. They erased the 4-goal deficit, and they finally lose a game in double overtime. So this one feels like it's going 6 or 7. Unlike the basketball. As we close out the show, little local nugget, want to get your take on that we broke this weekend on VirginiaPreps.com. Odell Hodge, a 2-time CAA Player of the Year and tournament MVP at Old Dominion, ODU Hall of Famer, no longer on the coaching staff for Mike Jones, but he's now the new head basketball coach at Granby High School in Norfolk. When you think of Granby, you think of the legendary Charles Lefty Drizel. You think of some names that have come through there. Lonnie Blow, by the way, who's coaching college basketball at Virginia State. There have been some decorated players to come through that program, too. I think of Kenny Easley's son, Kendrick, being one of those many. But how about Odell Hodge taking this job at Granby, as the Comets have a pretty well-respected man leading their program?
I was surprised to hear it. I think it's a great pick. Obviously, Odell has it in his mind to try the high school ranks, leave it to college ranks. And if I'm not mistaken, Odell does have head coaching experience on a high school level, yes?
He's coached internationally too, Ed. He's not only coached high school ball as well as college ball, and he hails from the Martinsville area, but he's coached the Belgian Pro League, coached in Turkey. Got a chance to chat with him briefly Saturday during the Norfolk State basketball team camp. And I think Granby fans should be pumped about this because, and of course, he's got a couple of sons playing college basketball. I believe his son Matthew, great first name, by the way, has just finished up his freshman campaign at Villanova with the Wildcats there, Kevin Willard and company. But I think he might have had surgery. I think he got dinged up, injured a year, if memory serves me right. But I think there should be some exciting times ahead for Granby. I mean, just think of the Granby-Morey matchups now. Darren Sutherland against Odell Hodge. I watched that at the team camp. Oh, it's going to be fun in Norfolk. And by the way, Lake Taylor's coming off a state championship game appearance. They're no slouch either. So there's a lot of good teams in that Eastern District. It'll bring some excitement and enthusiasm, no doubt about it.
Good pick for Granby.
Yep, no question about it. So all the best to Odell Hodge on his new venture with the Comets. A good man who I think is going to do some good things. That's going to do it for this episode of 757 Sports Talk. He is the coach, Ed Young. I'm Matthew Hatfield, and we will catch you next time right here. What are you watching, Ed?
Hobo Sports TV, the place to be.